Back. So something amazing happened. I turned into a level 40 Archmage. No, that's not it. If we come here, we try to enter a T1 area as a level 16 or above, you get a special buff, and you turn into a chicken. That's right. You're a chicken, and you can actually peck people. You don't do much damage, and they kill you in like one hit. And there's actually a quest for being a chicken called the Pecking Order, which you get in Nordland. Check it out once you're higher level. That's a fun quest to do. You unlock a chicken trophy. A little bit funny. So now you can't do T1 anymore, and you're looking for your next gear set. You don't know what to do. You're like, what the heck? Where do I go? It's not explained very well in the game, and that's something that threw me for a loop the first time I got to level 16. I'm like, what do I do now? You can still queue for scenarios, but you're not going to be in T1 scenarios anymore. You're going to be in T2 through 4. So first thing to do, you want to go back to your State of the Realm, and you're going to want to turn off Tier 1 and turn on Tier 4 State of the Realm. And now you're going to be able to see all the T4 areas. When I say T4, I mean Tier 2 through 4. Any battlefield, Tier 2 through 4, are going to be lumped together, and the bolster works for all of them. It's going to bolster you up to level 39 or 40 and allow you to play with everyone who's level 40. Now, people in level 40 renown rank 80 gear are going to be way, way better than you. So let's leave this area. The next thing I want to go to, you hit level 16, you're graduating from T1 areas. Now you want to go pick up your other pocket item, your other endgame item that you can get pretty early here. It's this refreshing pocket keg. You're going to want to go to one of the capital cities. You're going to want to go to the dwarf capital city, and this gives you 80 health points every 4 seconds. That's awesome, right? Free health regeneration. I'll take it. So you're going to go here. You're going to go Dwarfs vs. Greenskins and go up to Karaz. This is for all Order players. Destruction have something similar, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't played the Forces of Chaos. You come into the Dwarf capital, and it is freaking huge. So let's look here at the map. We're going to head all the way. So we're over here. We're going to take this elevator down to this flight deck, and we're going to come all the way across to this feast hall. And at the end of the feast hall, there's going to be a quest giver, which we're going to zoom to right now. And then he gives you a quest to try all the dwarven beer. And you're going to run around to all these areas in the tavern district, drink their beer, return to this guy, and say, hey, I drank their beer. Now what? I'm drunk. Well, drink this other beer. So you drink more beer. And then you complete that quest, and it gives you this cool trinket. Super easy trinket to get, and you're going to use it through endgame. I'm using it right now. I'm level 40, renown rank 55, 56, 57. What am I? 57, almost 58. And I still use it. So let's run over there real quick. Each race has their own plus AP item. So you'll want to look up a guide for that, but they're easy to find online. Look up Warhammer Online AP guide. And you'll find it for your race. It's Master Brewer. And if you ever lose this, I'm pretty sure he gives a quest to get another one. Yep. Kill enemy players, 0-50. You're going to get this real quick in any realm versus realm fight. But if you haven't done the original quest, he's going to give you a quest to go around and drink beer. You're going to run around to each of these areas. You're going to drink beer here in this little box area. Then you're going to come up and drink beer in this little box area. Then you're going to come over to this corner, and there's 2 more kegs you're going to drink. You're going to come back, and you're going to talk to this dude. And he's going to say, oh, great, you drank our beer. Here's more beer to drink. So you're going to run over. You're going to taste this keg. And you're going to taste this keg. And then you're going to talk to him again, and you get your pocket item. Boom. You have 2 best in slot pocket items. That's going to last you through the end game. Flight Master, so here we go. Empire vs. Chaos. You go here to the bottom. Altdorf. This is the Empire capital. And, you know, where I call my home here, it's just a lot of people conglomerate here. You get all your gear sets here. when you fly here, you're going to come in here to the right, and first guy you see is this Herald. Now, we talked earlier about these live events, right? You have your RVR week 52 events, right? Each week you gather open realm versus realm influence by killing people in open realm versus realm, and you gain rewards. Each week it refreshes and you can do it again. Dungeons, you do dungeons, you get special dungeon rewards. If you do ranked, I haven't done any ranked. I don't know anyone who does ranked. Ranked isn't very busy nowadays. Lots of people don't do it. If you do the Kegs End live event, which is seasonal, Kegs End is for Christmas, and there's lots of events here. That giant keg giant you saw, he is part of it. You get these cool rewards, right? Your live event for the every weekend, a new scenario. The scenarios always rotate. A new scenario pops up, and a weekend war front happens, and you get special rewards just for killing players and participating in that specific scenario. Causes a lot of people to conglomerate and do both open realm versus realm and scenarios, so that all activities stay busy. There's always people to play with. Well, you go to this Herald here to claim your rewards for any PvP stuff, for your weekend events, and for your realm versus realm events when you gain influence. But you set your rally point. Yes, I want to set it here. And now whenever you use your Book of Bindings, you won't return to your starting area. You'll actually return to this Altdorf. Nice place to be. And we can kind of go around here and look at kind of some of the merchants and stuff. These guys are just your general merchants. Not much here. You could sell stuff you don't want anymore. That's cool. You can't sell any items that unlock your wards. I kind of just save them or destroy them. Over here is your exotic mounts. So once you start getting some exotic mount tokens, either from a live event or from leading a warband, then you can buy some exotic mounts. What I have on now is an exotic mount. That's a bear. Over here in Altdorf is the auction house, where you can buy all sorts of stuff, search for things. We'll definitely visit here later to talk about, when we talk about gear sets and best in slot gear and pre-best in slot gear. One thing we didn't talk about, at level 5, you join a guild. You automatically join a guild in this game to talk to people and do stuff, which is great, but it also provides you access in the War Quarter to a special guild hall. And in this guild hall, you get quests for your keeper set, which is your next armor set that you're going to want to get after your scout set. So if you go here, Tomb of Knowledge, recruit ward. So you already got your recruit ward. Sorry, I misspoke. It's the next set you get after your recruit ward. So your scout ward. You're going to want to get either your keeper boots from PvE or spend some marks on challenger or obliterator boots, right? I don't suggest spending marks. I suggest just doing sewers. It's really quick. But you'll come here into Sigmar's Hammer and talk to, who do you talk to here? Sewers Search. So here's a quest for the sewers, and I believe all of these guys have quests for the sewers. Yeah, Bulbous one gets you the Keeper High Mantle, gives you a quest for the Bracers. Okay, so you went in, you accepted all your quests. You're going to be trying to get your scout set by doing the sewer dungeons. All right, so we're headed out. We're headed out of here. We got our quest for the Keeper set, and the sewers is your your second dungeon now that Dragonback Pass is released, which is in Altdorf. And there are 3 sewer entrances, and to complete all quests, you have to do all 3 wings. There's the north sewers, the middle sewers, and the south sewer. You want to try and find a full group, and oftentimes you get a high level that just says, I'll just take you through it and do the quests. If you accidentally left your guild, still get the quest to get the keeper set. And it's right in front of the middle sewers entrance. And you can see all these people with quests. These are all the same keeper set quests. You don't have to actually go into the guild hall to do it. That's just where it always used to be. So now you can come here, you click on this person and accept the quest to get your keeper's robe, which is gonna satisfy your scout. See, your keeper's boots, your scout ward, so that you could go on and do your soldier's ward next. And this is right next to the middle entrance. These are what the entrances to the sewers look like. You see them easily on your map. Here, major landmark, again, /5, looking for group. Looking for group sewers. I'm this, looking for this. Pretty easy to get into. Let's talk about new skills. Let's talk about renown points. Let's talk about renown passive points. And let's talk about masteries in your skill tree. So there's two places I typically travel to because they're real cheap. Norska and Nordland. They don't have the career trainer and renown trainer next to each other, right? So let's go talk to the career trainer first. You fly to Norska, come over here and you talk to this great NPC here, the career trainer. And if you click on buy career abilities, you can't really buy abilities anymore. This is just kind of there so you could look ahead and see what abilities are going to unlock as you level up. The only two options here that really matter are the buy mastery abilities and mastery build switch. So buy mastery, this is your skill tree. And each class has 3 different skill tree sets. For Archmage, it's Path of Isha, which is your healing. And it tells you here on the right what skills putting points in adds bonus to. And yes, as you put points into the tree, these heal for more or do more damage or shield for more, depending on, or buff for a greater amount, depending on what the skill does. So this says it heals your entire group for 1, 1, 2, 3 health. You put a point into there, it's now going to heal the group for higher than 1, 1, 2, 3 health. And of course, you only have a certain amount of mastery points you can use, so there's different builds. The Path of Isha is the healing spec for the Archmage. The passive Asurian? I didn't say that right. That's your damage dealing spec. And Path of Vol is your kind of life stealing, debuffing, shielding spec. Now I'm spec'd into this. This is going to be like an endgame healer spec. We'll look over some of these abilities real quick and how they work with your set for an Archmage. So starting with the Path of Isha, I would recommend going, I'm going to respecialize here. I would recommend going just all the way up this tree, right? If you like one of these, that's great. These tactics, these magical infusions, you know, these are great. For PvP, this Mistress of the Marsh for a healer is essential because it's your slow. It's an AoE slow. You put the puddle on the ground. Anyone who runs over it is slow. It's essential for kiting, for slowing down pushes, for helping your group get away. And I would literally just keep pumping this up. If you like the look of Funnel Essence as you're going up, go ahead and get that. But this is going to boost your heals. And as you're leveling, your heals, like I said, through 40, through your endgame dungeons, you're going to want to focus on healing. Dungeon groups aren't going to take you as a DPS Archmage, unfortunately. They really just want a healing class to heal, and they want a DPS class to do the DPS. Because, to be honest, the DPS of an Archmage isn't great until endgame. But then it can be really good. And I'll show you guys later. We'll hop into that as soon as we get to it. So for a starter spec, you know, I suggest just focusing on Path of Isha and going up that. That's your healer tree. The passive Asurian is your DPS tree, and we'll talk about that more when we talk about the DPS spec towards the end of the video. And then Path of Vol, it boosts your shield. Shield of Sapphire. It's an instant cast EHP. So it doesn't heal you, but it essentially gives you, with 0 points, 925 health on top of whatever health you have for 9 seconds. So they have to break through this 925 health before they hit your normal health. It's essentially a 925 healing spell, instant. And it's one of the only instants we have for healing aside from Funnel Essence. All of your other healing abilities, you have to actually cast or put a heal over time on, so there's a delay before you see their health bar go up. But this shield is your instant heal. You instantly heal for 925 damage of their EHP. And then this funnel essence is the other instant heal. As soon as you click this, they're healing. And that is such a great skill to start out with, especially when you're getting to learn new dungeons. As you're going to 40, you're learning the game as a healer. Go up this tree, you know, take Mistress of the Marsh, definitely take Funnel Essence, and then I would go over to Path of Vol and just boost this. Boost this as high as you can to get a better shield. And then once you get to Endgame, you're going to want to switch to Path of Vol. Energy of Vol. A wash of power leeches the breath from your target and up to 4 other enemies within 20 feet of them, dealing 251 spirit damage to each. Their stolen breath will heal your defensive target and allies within 20 feet of them for 750 health, plus 50% of the total inflicted damage. Okay, so what does all that mean? I just said a lot of words. Let's train that. All your gear that you wear increases a stat. Willpower. Willpower increases the amount that you heal. With this skill, you don't increase the amount you heal with willpower. That sounds bad, but it's really not. This is an AoE cast. So you select a bad guy. And as you kind of saw in our realm versus realm fighting, there was a bunch of enemies and there was a bunch of allies all grouped together. So if I stood in my group of allies, say this is my group of allies, and I cast... And this Archmage was an enemy, and so was this NPC. If I casted Energy of Vol, people will call it EOV, on Starcrux, it will do damage to both Starcrux and this NPC, and then heal both this Quartermaster and myself for 2 times 1,074 damage. So a 2-second cast all of a sudden heals 2,000 health. Like if I go over to my cast heal, my single target heal, this is only 1,178 health. It's already, with 2 targets, it's already more efficient cast than Boon of Hish, right? And it's way more efficient than casting Blessing of Isha, which is your group heal. Heal your entire group from 938. Now I'm healing my entire group, as long as we're together, for 2,000. That's absolutely nuts. Now imagine if there was 4 people together, how much it would heal my entire group for 4,000 damage, right? 4,000 health. That is nuts. So it is your greatest healing item when you get towards open realm versus realm and even dungeoning. It takes a little bit of work to learn how to use it right, but trust me when I say when you get to endgame, you're going to want to switch to Path of Vol, right? So I put all the way up to Path of Vol, just grab Path of Vol. I didn't grab any of these, and then put the rest of your points into Path of Isha. I picked up Mistress of the Marsh, like I said, that's a must-have. Then bolstering Boon. Sometimes in my groups, they want me to boost morales, and we'll look at morales as well. And this is super powerful. If you have a couple morale boosters in a group, we're pumping out a morale force over and over again. I'll show you how powerful that is. So if we look at our morales here, you gain morales by staying in combat and by getting pumped up by certain morale boosters. There are not many morale boosters in the game. There are some event items that boost morale, and then there are a couple classes that add the morale, as you just saw. Now, these are very powerful abilities that you gain by staying in combat and fighting, and they get more powerful as you go along. The first morale ability that I like to pick is Isha's Ward. You gain a shield that absorbs 3,600 damage for 30 seconds. Huge self-survivability. If you're getting attacked, all of a sudden you just healed yourself for 3,600 health at the press of a button. That's huge. You keep fighting, you unlock your second morale. Focus Mind. This is the pick. If you go here, you can click over here, morale abilities. You have all your morale abilities here. When you unlock a morale ability in the skill tree, it'll show up here. Focus Mind. It just blows all the other ones out of the water. For the next 10 seconds, you will remove and ignore any rooting, snaring, disarming, silencing, or disabling effects For 10 seconds, you're basically immune to being locked down. That is huge in player versus player. I don't know if you played any World of Warcraft, any arenas, but like the whole focus was locking down the healer and killing a DPS. Same thing here. But you become almost completely immune to any debilitating effect. Your cast times, in addition, are reduced by 50%. So if you're a healer Archmage, you're doing double the healing. DPS Archmage, endgame guys, you are doing double your damage for 10 seconds. It's nuts. There's honestly, I think this is better than any of the other morales, but they're still powerful, right? So say your entire group, you're getting hit, you need an instant heal for your entire group. Your rank 3 morale, each group member within 100 feet is surrounded by a protective shield for the next 10 seconds that will absorb up to 4,500 damage from melee abilities. You're getting destroyed by a bunch of choppas, melees on your back line, and you quickly pop this divine protection. Everyone just has an instant 4,500 heal. And then go to the M4, the most powerful morale, but it resurrects all group mates within 30 feet. Anyone who's brought back from the dead will also be healed for 1,000 over 9 seconds and will deal 20% more damage for 10 seconds. This might be good. This is used in a niche situation. I mean, if you had your whole group die right next to you and somehow you didn't die, you pop this and they're all back alive and doing a lot more damage. That's the morale. Let's talk about tactics real quick. There are a lot of really good tactics, and for the healer, go over what I think the best tactics are and what I have. So must-have tactic, but you won't get this until you're almost level 40. It's Desperation. Your healing abilities become 40% more effective when the target is below 25% hit points. 1.4 times the amount. If you're healing for 1,000 damage, they're below 25% hit points. You're now healing for 1,400 damage. The second tactic here is Master of Tranquility. Increases your chance to critically heal by 10%. It's a huge increase to your overall heals when you average it all out. Until you have best in slot gear, you're going to want to run Restorative Burst as well. This is how you can keep casting and you don't have any AP problems. We talked about AP a little bit here. If you see up here on the left, you know, I have my health 8,750 and then AP 275. When that 275 number gets all the way down, you can't heal anymore. You don't want to be the Archmage or healer that runs out of AP. Like, oh, I can't heal you guys. I don't have any action points. This is really the only way before you get best in slot gear to make sure while you're healing, you will be regaining action points at the same time. With the critical heal that you get from Master of Tranquility and the critical heal that you get from your gear, you will always be gaining action points so that you can always be healing. You can go on for minutes and minutes and minutes of just constant healing with this tactic. You'll usually want to take Gift of Life, which is Hurried Restore. It allows you to instant cast your Resurrect spell. Rather than casting for 3 seconds, you instant cast and res them, and then for 3 seconds you're stunned. But that stun's okay. I mean, there's so much you could do with an instant cat res spell. If you're behind a wall, you could, or a rock, you could jump up and instant cast at the top of your jump. You don't want to stand out in the open for 3 seconds because a marauder can pull you into their group and kill you. It's just a very quick recovery, very quick way to get your group back up and running when you take casualty. Balance mending. This is one I took while leveling when I didn't have desperation, because I didn't spend a lot of time healing myself, but mostly healing other people. This was a good one to use while leveling. Your healing energy is 35% more effective on other people. This allowed me to heal better, keep people alive better in scenarios. A bolstering boon. Sometimes my warband wants to boost how quickly they gain morale abilities down here. So you only have to be in combat for 1 minute instead of 2 minutes, and then you can have the more powerful morale abilities to cast when you're pumping up everyone's morale with this ability, right? That's a really good option to take. Now, when you're doing dungeons, you want to take Subtlety. Enemy monsters will hate you 25% less than normal. Absolutely required in a lot of dungeons. while we're here at our friendly career trainer, let's talk about some of the skills that we use a lot of. You're not going to use EOV that we talked about until, much later in your leveling when you have better gear. You're a lot more comfortable with healing groups. And trust me, your level 1 through 40 is kind of like a big tutorial, right? You're still learning. You're going to hit 40 and you're still might not be comfortable. Like, oh, shoot. I'm the only healer in this warband group. I don't want my group to die first. Don't worry about it. We're all just having fun. The community is great. But let's get in. Let's talk about skills. So for your single target heal, the basic skill is Boon of Hish. You cast 2 seconds. You heal your target for 1,451 health. That's great. But this is easily interruptible. So if you're being attacked by melee or something, or you're on the move, you're not going to be casting this skill. You're going to be casting healing energy. It's a much faster cast. Only takes 1 second to go out. It's 413 health immediately, and then another 535 health for 5 seconds after that. So essentially, it's a little bit less healing than Boon of Hish, but not only is it easier to cast, easier to get off because it's only a second, but you can cast it while moving, which is super helpful. You're running away, and you're like, oh, shoot, you're over here on your left. My tank's going down. You can heal them while you're running. A great escaping ability. So you're going to cast this healing energy. You're going to press your heal over time as well and make sure that's always running. And you're just going to keep track. See, that fell off. I'm going to keep track of that heal over time. And as it hits 1 second, I'm going to start casting it again so I can instantly replace that heal over time with another heal over time. The other heal over time I threw on there is an instant cast. You could cast it while running as well. Heals your target and 2 additional allies within 15 feet for 2,000 health over 15 seconds. So if this is my teammate here, I cast instant heal on them, I would get that instant heal as well on me and maybe one of the persons standing by me. So that's a nice way to get an AoE dot on people. Pretty cool. Next skill I want to talk about is Cleansing Light. You're going to want to keep this on your bar. Some ailments and hexes are really bad. They slow people. They do a lot of damage. But in addition to that, this is instant, and it puts a small shield on an ally that absorbs up to 239 damage for 10 seconds. But there's tactics that make this even better. And I talked about this tactic, Desperation, that is always on your bar. You don't get this until like level 38. So level 1 through 38, you're going to need something else to fill this slot. And there's really 2 good options here that I've run. The first one, Apotheosis. Anytime you use Cleansing Light on an ally, you will now remove 1 hex or ailment from all group members within 50 feet. So you use this. So say they have a slow on five members of your group. You cast Cleansing Light. It removes that slow from all of them and gives them all 239 damage absorb. That's huge. That's a huge bonus. That's a huge boon. That's a really good tactic to have. The other tactic that's good, that works well with Cleansing Light, Ish's Encouragement. If Cleansing Light successfully removes an effect from an ally, then they will also regain 978 health over 9 seconds. This stacks. This tactic stacks with Lambent Aura and Boon of Hish. So 2,000 health over 15 seconds, 500 health over 5 seconds, and then additional 1,000 health over, 9 seconds. That's nuts. That's a ton of healing over time that's just constantly going. That's a really good tactic to put on there. Unfortunately, it does not stack with Apotheosis. So you can't cleanse one person. It cleanses the entire group, and now they all have 1,000 health over the next 9 seconds. That would be crazy overpowered. It's too bad it doesn't work that way. That would be a must-have pick. So don't try that thinking it works, because it doesn't. Big ability here, Shield of Sapphire. It surrounds an ally with a magical barrier for up to 9 seconds, which will absorb up to 1,324 damage. You're gonna pop this on an ally who's taking damage, and they instantly have 1,300 health. It's, as I said before, one of 2 skills where you can front load your healing, whereas all your other skills, you have cast time. You have a cast time before you see the health go up, so you can't really use it in an emergency situation. Another skill I don't have on here that you'll be using while you're leveling that I did talk about is this Funnel Essence. This is the other front-loaded spill. Someone's going down, you hit this, they're instantly gaining health. Then you also have Blessing of Isha. Blessing of Isha heals your entire group for 1,123 health. You have to be within, I don't know, I want to say 100 yards, maybe it's 60 yards of them. When you're in a PvP fight, scenario, open realm versus realm, and no one's taking a lot of damage yet, you're going to have Restorative Burst, right? You're going to be regaining 40 action points over 3 seconds every time you direct critical heal an enemy. And with high critical hit chance, you heal your group of 6 people. One of those people, at least, is going to get critically healed. You gain 40 action points. This costs 65 action points. You're only spending, 25 action points each time you're healing your entire group. So just keep this up. Keep healing. You're not always reacting. You're pre-casting. Like, you know someone's going to take a damage. You don't know who it's going to be, but you're already healing them. It doesn't matter. If you're casting this, someone's getting healed. You're doing a good job. And then when someone starts to get low, your tank, DPS, then you can switch. Single target, click them, throw your instant heal over time, throw your 1 second cast heal over time, throw your instant shield, and then you'll have time to cast Boon of Hish to get that big crit, big 4K healing crit that you love to see. If I'm pre-engaging, I don't need to heal anybody yet. So I build up force. I'm going to cast a bunch of dots on this poor wolf here. And you can see down here my numbers. Oh, didn't get enough. Well, I got 2. I got 2 force numbers. It stacks up to 5. Well, now my heals do more healing and cast faster. So this originally 2-second cast is now 1.2 second cast, right? And it heals for more. So that's huge. My 1 second cast is now a 0.6 second cast, right? That's going off. No one's interrupting it. I'll only really throw these dots on pre-engagement. We have someone to throw some damage dealing things on. I'm going to build up my force so that now my instant heal comes out at almost 1 second rather than taking 2.5 seconds. Sorry, my group heal comes out at just over 1 second instead of 2.5 seconds. So that's really the only reason why I have damage dealing abilities on my bar as a healer, because you're not doing any damage. 700 damage over 15 seconds. Please, that's like an auto attack for a DPS group, a DPS class. So you're not doing any damage with this in a healing spec, but it helps you for pre-engage. So once you hit level 16, you can no longer go into T1 open realm versus realms. Where do you go? You go over here to State of the Realm, right click, turn on tier 4 options. This is T2 through 4. You get bolstered, and you see where war is happening. Badlands is open, but nothing going on there. You can see there's a lot of action going on in Dragon Wake. The T2 through 4 zones are a little bit different than T1. And when I say a little bit different, I mean a lot different. What are these giant castles doing here? This is the Order Castle. It's a 4-star. Nothing's being sieged yet. You can see the health of the doors. Let's run over to this castle and take a look at it. The whole point of T2 plus, I'm going to call it T4 from now on just to make it easier. The whole point of these open RVRs is you're still capturing flags, and these flags generate boxes. And you'll want to take these boxes to either your war camp or keep, and you're going to gain supplies. What these supplies do is build your keep stars up. You can have stars 1 through 4. At 2 stars, you can now build a ram, and you use the ram to knock down the outer door and inner door of the opponent's keep. Right now, the order has 4 stars, so if there was enough order around, we would spawn a ram, go over and take the keep from the destruction and get a bunch of rewards. Let's take a closer look at this State of the Realm, since we're safe in the keep. If you look here, we're looking at Dragon Wake, and it's kind of hard to see. Hopefully I can zoom in here. There's 100 to 199 destruction, that's the number in red, and 25 to 99 order. You can see we're fairly outnumbered, so we're not going to be able to do too much. Say it was even, right? It was destruction versus order. We have a 3-star keep and they have a no-star keep. We would spawn a ram and drag it all the way over the bridge to their keep. We'd come here and attack this front door. And then we come in here and we'd have to attack this second door. And once we attack this second door, all the while, it's a big battle because the defenders are trying to kill us while we're breaking down the door. We're going to come in here and kill these guys and go up to the second floor and kill the Keep Lord, who has a ton of health, all while defending against destruction coming in and trying to stop us from killing the Keep Lord. Right? If we win this, we're going to get a bunch of rewards. You're going to get to roll on a loot bag. Again, if you get a massive loot bag, it's huge because you unlock an armor piece that could cost 200, 300 war marks to get. So that's where the difference is between T1 and T4. Open realm versus realm. You don't just win when you fill up your bar. You now get a star. You get 2 stars. You can get a ram. You support the ram and drag it to the other faction's keep, break down the doors, kill their lord, and then you lock the zone and get your rewards. So it's a lot more involved. It's a lot more organized. During heavy times, you'll see lots of warbands here, 3, 4, 5 warbands of 24 people, just full, all coordinating together to get this ram and take down the other person's keep or defend your keep against the enemy's ram. It's a lot of fun, and I suggest getting into it early, joining a warband, following along. Again, do what the warband leader says, and you'll learn. You'll pick this stuff up as you go. The rewards for influence in these T4 zones are much higher. If you look here, you get some endgame gear. You get a level 38 Wind Staff of Remembrance, high intelligence, magical crit chance for your DPS builds out there. So as you level up, we talked a little bit about gear, talked a little bit about your wards, and how you get to the next set of armor. You start with recruit, you go to scout, soldier, officer, conqueror, vanquisher, invader. All these sets can cost a lot of war marks. All right, so to unlock your soldier's ward, you can get the mayhem set, and that's found by going into these T3 areas. Avalorn Safari for Empire and Chaos. It's High Pass and Tableclan, and then Dwarfs and Greenstone, the Blackfire Pass or the Badlands, and doing the hard public quests. So I would get a group, at least a couple people, healer, tank, and a DPS. Find on the map hard public quests. So this is easy. This is normal. Here, Hindelburg, hard public quests for ranks 24 to 25. And you just farm this with a group. Your group will end up getting massive bag drops. In these massive bags are gear pieces for this mayhem set. And you unlock your 4th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st fragment by just doing that. You can do the same thing with the officer ward, the ruin boots. You'll see in looking for group, people are looking for a ruin set farm. People are going to one of these tier 4 areas, Prague, Chaos Waste. We go to Chaos Waste real quick and farming one of the hard public quests here. So say we go to hard public quest, the reaping fields right next to the camp. Do this with a group of 3 people and you can get your ruin set to unlock the next ward so that you can wear your next set of gear. That's the way to do it for PvE. So here's where all the vendors are. These are the beginning vendors. You're not going to look at these guys too much if you want to fill out some jewelry pieces while you're leveling. There's some coin jewelry pieces here that you could throw in there. So let's go down here. And if you look at your ward, say you're trying to unlock the ruin set. And I mentioned you can go to a T4 area with a couple people and farm the hard quests to get your full ruin set gear from massive loot bags. Well, say you don't want to wait and do that. You want to get the Annihilator boots or the Mercenary boots like I did. Go over here to Annihilator boots. Here's the armors. You're going to end up spending here like 100. There's 180, right? You're going to 250, 350 war marks just to get a armor set that you're going to replace pretty soon. That might not sound like much, but when you spend 350 and then your next set you have to spend 600, and then your next set you're spending 2,000, it all adds up And ultimately, you're saving war marks for your best in slot gear set, which costs over 10,000 of these tokens. So you really want to save as much tokens as you can. Do yourself a favor. If you're going for some best in slot armor at later renown ranks, you're going to want to save your war marks.